Hello and welcome. I'm a hotel AI expert, and I'm so pleased to welcome all students of Europe Hotel School to your online learning journey. Now, in hotel sales, you're just constantly flooded with inquiries, right? It can feel overwhelming. The big question is, how do you know which ones are actually worth your time? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today, the art of lead qualification. This is the skill that separates the window shoppers from those real, high-value partners, the ones who are going to build the future of your hotel's business. All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why qualification is just so incredibly critical. Then, we'll walk through a three-step filter, kind of like a funnel. We'll start by decoding their real intent, then we'll evaluate the actual business potential, and finally, we'll get down to aligning on all the practical details. And to wrap it all up, we're going to look at the strategic mindset that brings everything together, helping you turn those simple inquiries into truly profitable long-term partnerships. Okay, first things first. Why is lead qualification so important? I mean, really, why do we care? Because let me tell you, it is not just another task to tick off your list. In today's incredibly competitive market, this is the core strategy. It's what separates a truly successful sales professional from one who is just, well, busy. Look, as a future leader in this industry, and that's what you are going to face a nonstop flood of inquiries. I'm talking emails and calls from everyone. Corporate managers, event planners, tour operators, you name it. And here's the secret. Your success isn't going to come from responding to every single one. No way. It's about strategically picking out the diamonds in the rough, the leads that have real, genuine commercial opportunity. And this slide, this really nails the difference. It shows the two paths you can go down. On one side, you've got the reactive approach. That's like running on a hamster wheel, you know? You're putting in a ton of effort, but you're not actually going anywhere. But then you have the strategic approach. That's where you're being deliberate. You're carefully choosing where to invest your most valuable asset, your time, to build those strong, lasting partnerships. So when it comes right down to it, lead qualification is your filter. That's the best way to think about it. It's a structured, disciplined process that helps you look past the surface of every email and every phone call to see the real commercial potential hiding there. It's all about making sure your energy goes only where it counts, on opportunities that are actually going to convert into confirmed business. Okay, so you're probably wondering, how does this filter actually work in the real world? Great question. Let's start at the very top of the sales funnel. The first pass, the first big step, is learning how to decode a prospect's genuine intent. It's all about figuring out who's a serious buyer and who's just kind of browsing. And this table is super useful. It's basically a cheat sheet. See, high-intent prospects, they give you specifics. They have dates in mind, they know their group size, they have clear objectives for their event. These are huge signals. It tells you they've already done their homework, they've had internal meetings, and they're actively planning. On the flip side, low-intent inquiries, they're usually pretty vague. Think general pricing or no mention of a timeline. That tells you they're probably in the very early stages of just exploring their options. But here's the thing. Intent isn't always laid out for you in black and white. Your real job, the art of it, is to listen for what's between the lines, those subtle cues. You know, the sense of urgency in someone's voice on the phone, or when they start asking really specific questions about operational details. Trust me, those little things can reveal way more about how serious they are than any formal email ever will. All right, so we've filtered out the casual browsers, and we're left with prospects who have genuine intent. Now our funnel gets a little narrower. The next pass is all about evaluating the true long-term business potential. And this is a big one, because this is where we shift our thinking beyond just a single one-time booking. Let me give you a quick example of what I mean. Let's say a corporate client reaches out. They're looking for just 10 rooms. Now, on the surface, that seems fine, but pretty modest, right? It might be something you'd even overlook if you're busy. But what if you do a little digging? You spend 5 minutes on their website or LinkedIn, and you discover this company holds a management meeting in your city every single month. Whoa. All of a sudden, that little one-off booking doesn't look so small anymore, does it? You've just uncovered a pattern of recurring demand. And this is where the magic happens. You start calculating the long-term value. Over, say, 5 years, that small 10-room inquiry could explode into over 600 room nights. You see? You haven't just found a booking. You've identified a major strategic asset for your hotel. And that is the critical mindset shift, from just filling rooms to actually building an account. And strategic value isn't always about the total number of rooms either. It's also about when they book. I love this chart because it shows this so clearly. A piece of business that fills up your hotel during a typically slow period can actually be more valuable than a higher rate booking you get during your peak season. Why? Because it helps you balance your occupancy and creates a much healthier, more consistent revenue stream all year round. Okay, we're getting to the narrowest and, honestly, the most critical part of our qualification funnel. We've confirmed they have real intent, we see the long-term potential, but now we have to get down to the brass tacks. We need to vet the practical realities. Who actually makes the decision? Is their budget realistic? And can we operationally deliver what they need? Here's something you need to remember in B2B sales. Decisions are almost never made by just one person. It's a team sport. As you can see here, you've got the main decision maker, sure, but you also have powerful influencers, you've got procurement people, and you have the end users who will actually be staying at your hotel. Understanding who's who in this landscape is absolutely crucial if you want to navigate their internal process. So, the million-dollar question: how do you figure out who the real decision maker is without sounding rude or pushy? It's all about being tactful. You never ever want to ask, "So, are you the one in charge?" Instead, you ask collaborative questions. Something like, "This is great. Could you walk me through how your team typically evaluates different venues?" See the difference? It positions you as a helpful partner who wants to understand their process, not just another salesperson trying to close a deal. And then, of course, there's the budget. Let's be real. A huge gap between what a client expects and what your property offers is a massive red flag. A prospect who wants 5-star luxury facilities but only has a 2-star budget, that's probably not a realistic fit. Being transparent and honest about pricing and value right from the beginning saves everybody a ton of time and frustration. Okay, let's bring this all home. I want to elevate this whole idea because at the end of the day, effective lead qualification isn't just a 3-step process or a checklist. It's much bigger than that. It's a mindset. It's a professional philosophy that's going to guide your entire approach to sales, and honestly, it will define your success in this industry. This is not about just ticking boxes on a form. It's a dynamic blend of crucial skills. It's about thinking like an analyst to see that hidden long-term value. It's about listening like a consultant to hear what's not being said. And it's about communicating with honesty and integrity to build real trust. This is how you move past simply managing transactions and start building powerful, lasting relationships. So as you move forward in your careers, I want you to carry this one question with you. Always ask yourself, am I just collecting inquiries, or am I strategically building the future of my hotel? Because your answer to that question, that will determine not only your own success, but the legacy you build in this incredible industry. Thank you so much for your time today.